previously on patucation. So, just one more episode about Elon, okay? I mean, assuming he doesn't do or say anything stupid in 2024. Well, he did it. He said something stupid in 2024. Could you imagine such a thing? I mean, he's said a lot of dumb shit in 2024 already, racist shit. But it turns out that on January 15th, 2024, the day I published my last video, which was ironically about Elon Musk, he tweeted the following. Quote, I am uncomfortable growing Tesla to be a leader in AI and robotics without having roughly 25% voting control. Enough to be influential, but not so much that I can't be overturned. Unless that is the case, I would prefer to build products outside of Tesla. You don't seem to understand that Tesla is not one startup, but a dozen. Simply look at the delta between what Tesla does and GM. As for stock ownership itself being enough motivation, Fidelity and others own similar stakes to me. Why don't they show up for work? End quote. Oh boy, Elon is actually playing pretend that he's Goldilocks. This voting control is too small, he says of his current 13-ish% ownership stake in Tesla. This voting control is too big, he says of an imaginary scenario where he has enough power to unilaterally control everything. But this is just enough, he says of a 25% voting control that would arbitrarily double his voting power by taking power away from other shareholders instead. Not only is he arbitrarily saying that he wants more power, just because he shows up for work, if spending all day replying with 2 exclamation marks to Nazi tweets counts as showing up for work, but he is pretty much explicitly saying that if he doesn't get this power, he would instead use his wealth to create or invest in other companies that would give him that power, in direct competition with Tesla. I'm not sure whether it technically could be defined as blackmail, but this for sure comes closer to blackmail than when Disney didn't want to advertise on Twitter. Disney and other advertisers choosing not to advertise on Twitter because they didn't want their brands to be associated with hateful far-right ideologies were not blackmailing anyone. Yet that is what Elon Musk said they were doing, as he was throwing a tantrum like a spoiled, rich, white brat from apartheid South Africa. But now that Elon is saying, give me more power or I'll fund your competition, isn't that a lot closer to blackmail? Especially if you think about it, he wants other people to have less say and he wants his word to carry more weight at Tesla, which seems kind of ironic given that he framed Disney supposedly blackmailing him as an attack on free speech on Twitter. Not to mention that his whole shtick when it comes to opposition to unions is that it is somehow unions that create lords and peasants. But here we have a situation where this man-child who already has too much power wants more power. If he truly meant his comments about no lords and peasants at Tesla, he would instead push to democratize the workplace, let everyone at Tesla have an equal say. But he's doing the opposite, trying to consolidate more power for himself, because he's just a megalomaniac and a narcissist who never ever opposed a system of lords and peasants. He loves his wealth and power. Without it, he'd just be a divorced man whose daughter hates him. Last thing to comment on here, well, there's probably a lot more that could be said, but I wanted this to be a quick video, is how he frames the situation at Tesla as if he is the one developing AI and robotics, as if he is the one building products, when in reality, it is workers and engineers who do all of that. Elon Musk is but a glorified poster boy, one that is becoming more and more of an embarrassment to Tesla, for each day that passes and each exactly that he posts on Twitter.com. At the very least, Elon Musk is true to himself, because every damn time he does or says something ridiculous, I can use the same criticisms. He's doing the thing that he is accusing others of doing. He is actually the one who hates free speech and uses his power to silence others. He wants power and views himself as entitled to that power, despite pretending, quite poorly mind you, that he is actually a man of the people who hates any system of lords and peasants. Because he is above all a megalomaniac and narcissist. He's taking credit for the work that's being done by other people, as if he's the one out there building products. And then, of course, just for fun, I'll remind everyone that Elon Musk is highly reactionary, extremely racist and transphobic, and has become best buds with the worst types of fascists and neo-Nazis that are out there. In short, Elon Musk really is the worst. But you, yes, you are definitely not the worst, because you watched until the end of this video, and you probably liked and subscribed too, didn't you? That's because you're an awesome person. Thanks for that. See you next time. Special thanks to Kent for making me aware of this developing story.